Screw it.
Welcome to the show. You look incredible, like a dessert that owns a yacht.
That's exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, sweet but slightly out of your tax bracket.
Mission accomplished. How does one even shop for a suit when your head...
Gold on my neck, gold on my hand, purple with the stripes, that's the walk of a man. Sidewalk shining, city lights humming, every step I take, they know a boss is.
Is that a poppy seed? You realize I'm your P.O., right? Straight to booking!
Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yeah!
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your...
Yeah, it's TUG, that umbrella guy. You picked the wrong storm. 2 times on the docket, used to lane learn. You kept running to the court, I just let it burn. You was barking on the phone, all that tough talk threatened. Now you looking at the floor like judge, I'm just stressing. You swing wild, I parry that, turn it to a meme. You gamble with your rep, I'm cashing out on the stream. You said you'd end me, now you trim me. You a car crash clip, I rewind it in 4K HD. You hate the channel cause the truth don't bend. You ain't a rival, you a cautionary tale I pen. You said you ragged me, but I wrecked you worse. You tried to cancel, now you stuck replaying this verse. 2 times ain't enough for you. Keep suing cause you're scared of truth. That umbrella guy gon' shine right through. You call it war, I call it views. She crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's old news. Crazy, crazy, yeah, that's old news. 2 times ain't enough for you. Yeah. You was yelling at the screen, veins popping in your neck, talking big, talking bold, but your story don't connect. You a late night rant, I'm a documented fact. You a tantrum in a tweet, I'm receipts in the stack. You said I ruined you, I said bet cool. Now the judge looking sideways, who really the fool? You keep threatening in the dark, I just flipped the switch. You a star of your own breakdown, welcome to the glitch. Mic drop, every time that I quote your lies. You keep spinning, I keep winning, watch the view count rise. You call me villain, but I'm still chilling. You the one scribbling in threads like that's some kind of living. 2 times ain't enough for you. Keep suing cause you scared of truth. That umbrella guy gon' shine right through. You call it war, I call it views. She crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's old news. Crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, that's old news. 2 times ain't enough for you. 2 times ain't enough for you. 2 times ain't enough for you. You threatened my name, I turned it to fame. You play with the flame, got torched by the game. You keep coming back, same move, same rage. I just flipped that page, let the ad money rage. 2 times ain't enough.
What's up, folks? 2 times ain't enough for you. I love it. I love it, man. How's it going today, folks? Welcome to Even on the Weekends. The fun never ends. That's right. You know, it's weird, too. I'm going to throw this in here. This is not a topic on today, but I thought it was really interesting that Variety has started doing their PR spin again for Amber Heard. I was like, is this 2022 revisited? Apparently they are all there is a movie in Sundance where Amber Heard is trying to yet again go after Depp, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. These people never learn. It is terrible. It also shows you what a person, even after they've proven to the entire world, you know, what they've been through, all of the horror that they dealt with, what they still go through. And I hate that because it reflects on cases just like this one. You know, you'll have you hope that the worst elements learn a valuable lesson, but there's some people out there that are, well, let's just say they are incapable of schooling. By the way, on that topic, check this out. Since we're talking about the 2 times ain't enough for you person, look at this. This is the dumbest thing I've ever written, ever that has been written that I've ever read. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. You know, I don't want to give old Mark here some shouts in this too. I swear, Lord, you see people, you see people commenting on this because, I mean, this is terrible. What this is essentially saying here is that if you get a protective order in, let's say, Ohio, that it does not count in another state. This is the dumbest thing I've read, but when you read through it, the really dangerous thing about it is this is held out to people from someone that is saying, hey, I have a background in this stuff. I was a lawyer, after all. I have the educational resources in this. All these other people are wrong. And it's like, oh no. Don't tell people, don't tell a bunch of weirdos that if somebody gets a protective order against them, that it does not count in another state. You endanger people with that misinformation, and you endanger the victims, first of all. But on top of it, you potentially put somebody back in jail this way too. I mean, I was just like, oh my God. Let's read this little. This is actually from a Lipson, well, a Lips variety. I guess they're the Lips and Chips compound variety. You know, it sounds like a disease these days. But listen to this. Debunked. Megan Fox and someone else, something else that kind of stood out. When you've got an injunction in another state like Ohio, okay, when you've got an injunction by, forbidding, say, Michelle Preston and John Cook from something, it's not binding in Florida. Ohio court cannot sit here and dictate to a party what they do in Florida. There's no jurisdiction. There's no jurisdiction. Yeah, they've already explained multiple times why there is jurisdiction. The court has already spoken on this, which we'll have a good answer for this in just a second. The court order would have to be binding in the state, okay? No, God. Full faith and credit, man. Oh, God. Don't tell people this stuff. It's not right. Oh, Lord. It's not right. You just can't go to another state. You can't be you can't be Ohio and say to Florida, oh, you've got to do this. No, Florida gets to make those decisions because each state has different laws. Good God. So to sit there and scare the Jesus out of Michelle and John about what they do in Florida is misleading. They don't. It doesn't matter what they do in Florida. I mean, this literally says that. It doesn't matter what they do in Florida. All that matters is what they do in Ohio. When there's a restraining order in Ohio, they can do whatever the hell they want in Florida, okay? No, 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 no. Oh my God. I asked ChatGPT to put this in a way that might entertain us so I don't yell in my response. So, ask ChatGPT to explain this. So, it said, okay, well, let me explain this real slow because apparently some people think the law works like Pokemon cards. You know, how they have different rules for different cards. The protective order is not a regional game item. It doesn't stop working when someone crosses a state line like, oh no, we're in Florida now. The Ohio order despawned. That's not how reality works. That's maybe how board games work. Protective orders are enforced nationwide because if they weren't, I'm going to use the word accoster on earth would just take a weekend road trip and say, sorry, officer, I'm in a different state. It's different rules. I'm legally immune now. You think about that, by the way. I go on vacation. I'm not protected anymore. I mean, really, this is what I'm saying to add to it. Like, how does that make sense? Holy gosh. How does anyone take any of these people seriously? Like I said, there's handfuls of idiots that take these people seriously. They think they know what they are talking about. They've told you so far, my two favorites, because they are so incorrect, are number one, you can't read transcripts of live streams. You can't show clips. Yeah. You can't clip the chats because if you do, that's illegal. No, fair use. Fair use, idiots. Oh my God. But this is my second favorite. I'm not sure which is my first out of the two, but as far as stupidity wise, it really bothers me because somebody might believe that they can do something horrible based on this. But state lines, they're not magical erasers. They don't delete court orders. They don't reset consequences. And they don't turn violations into side quests. The reason protective orders follow people across state lines is simple. The law assumes adults won't pretend the United States is a collection of disconnected mini kingdoms. That's right. If someone honestly thinks a court order, a protective order, expires at the welcome sign, that's not a legal argument. That's a fucking cartoon. That is, too. They are right. I mean, honestly, this can't be. I'm like, this is somebody that represented people in court and keeps sitting out there saying, Megan Fox, I'm so much smarter than you. I know everything about the law. I'm so much better equipped. Oh my God, man. Oh Lord. Between that and God, that Shara video, man. Ooh, boy, oh boy. Now, there was also today, just to note this as well, there's also a bankruptcy document that dropped today. I believe we will go over that tomorrow. And the reason we will go over that specific item tomorrow is because we have plenty for today. I also, this is all my opinion, I don't believe that Saran Wrap wrote the new filing. I absolutely do not. Let me show you real quick. Like I said, we're not going to really review it today. We'll go through and review it tomorrow because there's a lot of pages. Well, enjoy it. Give me 1 second here, by the way. I got to roll back to it and grab it real quick. I swear to God. Also, thank you to folks. There were a few folks that posted it. I noticed it was posted out there. So I just, instead of anybody having to go in and send it or anything. I noticed the posting. Woohoo! I was on the ball today. But when you go in, okay, I'm not going to do a lot of zoom in or anything. I want to show you just a couple of things out of this. And then, like I said, we'll go over it all tomorrow. Now, you remember we went over a bunch of saran wraps filings. Yeah. And one of them we went over, I talked about being one of the worst legal documents I've ever seen as far as noting what happens in cases, right? Well, funny enough, this document has all of that. In fact, this document, you can see that it's ordered, you have actual material from the cases quoted in there. This is not something this person is doing normally. This does not read like one of their filings at all. And I found that to be, now they still made a gigantic mistake with this. I'm actually not going to note what that gigantic mistake is. I think that will be fun. Well, we'll see. We'll see about it. Maybe I will. I'm going to find out before. I don't want them to have any warning about they're stupid in this. The argument still is, what an ineffective argument still. But this, like I said, they come in, they quote. You can see it here. Oh well, look at this right here. I'm actually going to quote something that happened. That he doesn't do that. He never does it. Like, look at his filings before. I talked about how bereft his last filing was. There's nothing in it. It was a giant nothing burger. So with this, but like I said, we'll go over it. It amazed me. Like looking at it, I was like, wait a minute. This doesn't read like any. I hate it when people like do something like this and you look at a filing, you're like, there's no way that's the same person. There is absolutely no freaking way on earth the same person put that document together. How do I know that? Well, I've read their other documentation. It'll be real fun to go through. Now today we will have fun going over some wonderful stuff in the Shara video, including you had 2L send her a cease and desist, which is actually kind of entertaining considering when you go over the cease and desist. One of the things that I noticed in there was this little thing called a lack of understanding fair use. Yet again, it blows my mind. Every time. Oh, by the way, I want to show you something. One other thing on that document from the bankruptcy court. So check this out. I do want to show you this real quick here. Okay. Now remember we talked about one thing on it. When we read through it too, I'll have everything downloaded so we can actually see it a bit better. Because again, I can zoom like this, but I mean, it does okay with Facebook, but I want the bars off of it so I don't have any, I decide how big that gets. I mean, it's still pretty good, though, the way it's uploaded. And by the way, who was the first person? I can't remember who uploaded it. Give me 1 second. I forgot. I want to give them proms, by the way. So this was Jessica. What's up, Jessica, by the way? I want to give you prompts with that. Again, you did upload this, and I sometimes forget to give shouts. I consider anything that's posted, if it's posted in groups or anything like that, I figure you're okay with it being noted because it is posted publicly. But this was also posted in, let me see. I look at about 6 groups in the daytime, so I forget sometimes. I believe that was from the Otter Creek, Florida, and the Shady Bunch, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's who that was from. I think I'm going to have a raider in just a second. Give me 1 minute before we start up everything. But one thing I did want to note is that you notice the creditor list. Hey, what's up, kiddo? I hear you up there. What you doing, child? Hey, girl. What you doing? What did you think about the ice outside? See, we didn't get what they told us, but we still got enough ice. We can't do anything today. Come here. What do you think about all that ice out there?
Not the best.
Not the best. I know you wanted snow, right?
Yeah, but maybe. I wonder how snow's made.
How snow's made? Well, we've talked about that before, but it's not as much fun to be like, do you want to build an ice man?
In a angel.
I don't think building an ice angel would be fun either. You throw back, you're like, oh no, not my back.
But the snowman one wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, snowman would be fun, but an ice angel would not be fun.
Ice snowman.
Yeah.
Because it would never melt till summer.
It's true. Hey, Wheezy Will sent $10 there and said, hey, there's something for you guys. That's awesome there. You know, you're moving tomorrow. I hope that is going well. Moving is always a chore, so I hope everything's going okay with that.
Someone please no. Someone said
it's cold outside too, isn't it?
Someone said no cleaning money, please.
No cleaning. Wait a minute. Are you trying not to clean today?
Hey, if people said not clean money, I don't have to clean.
What? Who said that was a rule? There's look. Andre sent. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Sent money for either candy or lip gloss. She said somebody said no cleaning money. As if you said it's not for cleaning. I don't have to clean.
Yeah, it does. It says like no clean then nothing.
What?
With all those.
It's a cleaning day. I told you it was a cleaning day.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No.
What I do. I told you it was a cleaning day today. I saw your room. It looks like a mini tornado. Yeah.
You're a mini tornado.
Well, maybe I am, but I'm not the one who trashed your room. You are. Yeah. Your room looked like a little tornado hit it. It looks like the storm didn't hit outside. It looks like it hit in your room.
And maybe it did.
Maybe it did. Or is that what we're going to blame? We're going to be like, oh, I can't clean it up. Got to call the insurance company.
Yes, it was
I knew it. Oh, no. Look at that. Look, Bradley the Sloth. Can you say thank you to Bradley?
Thank you.
I sent 5, and it says, no cleaning money. Oh, Lord, what's happening? It's so funny. Oh my goodness. Oh no, look, here's James. Can you say thank you to James?
Thank you.
James also said for a no cleaning day.
And it has an IOI.
What that doesn't even mean anything. What is an IOI? What do you think that means?
I said I.
What does that mean?
Just said it first.
Where does it say that? Oh no! That's an LOL. She thought LOL was an IOI. I could understand that. LOL means laughing out loud. That means they're laughing.
Yeah, and the
she said it
too.
She said it's got an IOI. I was like, what do you think that? Where's that giving an IOI?
I don't know.
That's cute. That's very funny. You're
I'm really the funny one.
You are funny. Hey, check it out.
You're not the dancing one.
Look, Wheezy Wheels sent you a gifted membership there. That's like $5. Whoa. Can you say thank you?
And look at that.
Yeah, and Ande said $5 there. It's dancing, isn't it?
They're sending hearts.
Yeah, they're sending hearts too. Can you say thank you to them?
Thank you.
IOI. I was like, what is IOI? What do you think that means? You misspelling something? That is amazing.
But
you are funny.
You're funny too.
I know. But you are funny. You're cute. All right. Hey, you are cute. All right. Hey, if you want to go watch something, since it's a snow day and stuff, you can go have a little bit of a lazy, but you are cleaning tomorrow. I'm not kidding.
Tomorrow for real.
Okay, for real. All right.
Hey, for real, 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 for real.
All right. Otherwise, I'm going to get to keep your Pennywise, right? What is that about? Do you disagree? Well, I mean, if you're planning to clean, it won't matter. I won't have to take it.
Okay, I have to clean it.
All right. Love you.
Tomorrow.
Yep. Oh, hey, by the way, Paula sent you $5. Can you say thank you there too? She said that's for making her smile. Aw, yeah, because you're cute. Can you say thank you?
Thank you, and the clean is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, it's a soda.
Okay, well, you better go while you've won. You better go. Hey, by the way, say thank you to Weezy Wheels.
Thank you, Weezy Wheels.
Yeah, she said that's for doing your cleaning. You could pay somebody.
We didn't get a maid.
A maid? What?
We did get a maid.
I hear you. IOI. I've never. Close the door. Oh my goodness. That about killed me. I thought. I thank you, S. Shine. By the way, now you got to clean. I'm gonna tell her that when she will come back. I'll be like, oh, sorry. Somebody sent some real cleaning money. That'll be perfect. Holy Lord. That's too funny. IOI. God, that made me laugh. Oh, Lord. All right. Give me a minute here. I'm waking the screen up. There it goes. All right. So the one thing that I want to note with the bankruptcy doc before we get into the Shara video, I'm still laughing about it. I haven't gotten that out of my head yet. Is the fact that when we look through yet again the parties for receiving email, the parties that are creditors. Who do we notice here? You notice this group of people. You see them on here. Notice that. Notice who we don't see on there. The Thats. Still no Thats. But you have to buy into the idea that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't matter indeed. Now, the stuff we're going to look at, this video is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Sure, I'm telling you, man, had so much access. These people, I think they're horrible to Shara because they're afraid of her. I think that ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that explains everything. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this very simply. There is background music for about 4 minutes and 52 seconds. Then there is a clip from LP. Then you will have a clip from Chips and Lips, which we will skip over because who cares? Then we'll get to the cease and desist. And out of that, then you'll get a final clip from LP, which is crazy, talking about how her grandson would Jeremy Hales. Oh, it's pretty crazy. Now, if you have not watched this, by the way, you need to. You need to go in and you need to watch it and give it plays on the actual channel. This is on Shara Wolf channel. Shara deserves the plays, put all this stuff together. It's a lot of work. And tell her thank you, What I'm going to do here, though, the way I'm going to do this, again, I turned the sound off for the beginning. We will jump through and we will look at a few of these. Now you noticed, first off, right off the bat, you noticed with the very beginning when it was showing, like when we pulled it up, that, man, notice who has dropped the block. Brucey. Now, isn't that interesting, by the way? Bruce was somebody who sang Shara's her praises everywhere. He was like, she's the greatest. She's the best. She's our choice of journalist. She's ours. Now, when you compare that to what they had to say about her after she decided, hey, I've looked at all of this information, and you know what? One thing I've come to the conclusion on is these people were not correct with that. Yeah, it's a mess, man. That is an absolute. Like I said, these people, they spent so much time trying to convince people that Shara is not trustworthy. But look at this. I mean, Shara is doing, these are informational videos. She doesn't narrate or anything else. She just provides you the information. So how can you say that, you know, she's giving it and she's telling you, you know, make up your mind with this. It's amazing. And, you know, yesterday, as part of everything that the Fats did, oh my God, they're also, oh Lord, they're trying to tell you there wasn't a problem for them to do play-by-play commentary on what was happening in the courts, by the way. That's not a problem at all. When they're like, oh, Hales is on the stand, you know, Shara, she just well, he's doing this. I was like, you are kidding me. That's not a problem at all. Yeah, it is. See, again, protective orders or protected order hearing, rather, can they be open? Yes. Was that one? That one has been, they have been pretty explicit on that. She's also, what she's trying to frame it as now, too. It's just like the bench thing. She's trying to frame it like people were saying that she was in Ohio. Oh, no, people weren't saying you were in Ohio. They were saying that you were listening in. There's a big difference. I love how they take the most absurd things that no one says, tries to framework it that way. And then, you know, and then they didn't seem very, by the way, if they were so assured of themselves, why delete every comment that they made? Why hide the video? I mean, if they're really that assured in it, why didn't they just leave it all? Oh, because what they want to do is they want to remove it, and then they want to add some narrative. And watch, the narrative is going to be some redonkulous freaking thing that we're all going to sit at and laugh. Oh, it'll be stupid, whatever it is. But anyway, the reason I mentioned all that is because they brought up Shara, you know. That's one thing for sure. For Jay's mom's birthday. I saw a few birthdays in there, too. By the way, I hope, despite being stuck inside, many of you, I'm sure, are. Despite that, I hope you have had a very pleasant birthday. Because it has not been the greatest day ever for doing stuff and getting out. So I hope that you have had a good one, and I hope we add to that. So let's go. The way we'll do this is, again, we will look and see exactly what's on here. So Shara starts out giving us the intro clip. Then let's see where we pop off to. God, there's so much. Remember, I always like this one, crap. I always like this one. I'm glad Shara adds this just to make sure that everyone remembers it. You know, they say that they always do this. They keep bringing it up, too. They bring it up for protective order and everything else. They talk about Lynette Preston as just some ordinary private citizen. She's not known. She's not a celebrity. And yet, as Bruce, her employer, lawyer. Did I say employer? My bad. It did seem like that as far as strategy is concerned, though, didn't it? Oh, you want to burn down Jeremy Hales? Well, it seemed like you owned a piece of her. But no, as her quote unquote lawyer, my bad, he stated this: you're a celebrity, but we don't want to embrace that. He told her that you're a celebrity. We just don't want to say that out loud, because if we do, it changes up not just our argument, but the legal requirement for some of the things that you said were done. This will be something that gets added in a courtroom for any litigation that they try to push. Because when they say that Michelle Preston is just some basic, ordinary nobody, no, her own lawyer told her that, hey, you know, you're a celebrity. We just don't want to embrace that idea right now. I swear, man, these people, they throw out some of the dumbest things too, the dumbest stuff. Now, back in the day, we get to see a little, like, again, we're going to go through everything that's here. It's about 10 minutes long. We get to see back in the day, the August 15th, two L's in a pond talking about their live stream and how they would come together behind the scenes and have all these people that totally don't work on stuff together. They totally didn't come together and try to build narratives, did they? I mean, when you look at it, check it. They're all together in a group called the August 15th. They never thought any of this would come out. They were so brazen about it, but they never thought it would come out. See, this is what amazes me. They have this conspiracy that they thought would work out for them, but they didn't think about a couple of things. Number one, they didn't think about who they added. And number two, they didn't take into account that the main people, you know, the people like 2L, Bruce and stuff, they wouldn't like each other for very long. The Michelle Preston would sell them all out after a while. It amazes me seeing them try to do damage control for her again, knowing she didn't complain to want to put them in jail, by the way. She contacted authorities to put like 2L in jail. I mean, that's the thing. You know, they spun it as, oh, well, Michelle, she was venting. Oh, she wasn't venting. She contacted the police and found out the Fats had gone to the police about her first. Isn't that fun? I love it. But you see them together. You got them. Oh, man. Well, oh, please join for tonight's streaming. We just need Michelle here. If you are good to go, I'll check in as I can. What time is it supposed to start? Here's Bruce here. Now, can someone get that one CPS report Michelle shared in the other chat? So here, by the way, is an admission. I hope, I'm sure Jeremy and his lawyers did keep this. I always like looking back at these things too, even if we've seen some of these before, because they note things like the other chat. Oh, wait, you mean they had other chat rooms that I'm sure that they have torn down by now that they were supposed to keep? Because, you know, with preservation, that's how lawsuit works. Isn't that interesting? Other chat, though. Is there a PDF of it noted? Or a JPEG I can share? I can share a link and they can play it. I'll say we're trying to get copies of all the other 21. Now, what's important about noting something like that, by the way, is you can tell who's running this and telling them what to say. Well, you know what? While we're showing all of this off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say blah, 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 blah. That's weird, huh? By the way, look, I just got it. It says, Michelle, please, by the way, or Lacey. Remember when she said that she doesn't go by Lacey? You remember that big fit about that? She has never gone by Lacey, ever. Do you remember her saying that it was all a lie if anyone stated that she had ever gone by Lacey? Well, look at that. It's right there on your screen. She's telling them here publicly that she could go by Michelle or not this or that, but or Lacey, not Lynette. Isn't that interesting? So all that stuff about all that stuff about I've never been discussed under that name. Isn't that interesting? Now, let's see. Here's BBB saying, I'm going to send to Lee's the 4 screenshots with Landon's text. But we need that recording from Landon, you know? Can you get it from him ASAP? Look at the way this stuff goes. I had weed whacked her play yard and the area all around the camper just 2 days before. It came from a video. He got it from Jamie. No. She was playing in the pool, something that when that photo was taken. Okay, I'm just making sure I read everything correctly. We'll get some wonderful audio clips after this, by the way. I'm making sure I don't skip anything. That's why I'm rolling slow through there. Can I thank people in the chat, by the way? Or no? John had called me. Let Bruce thank them on your behalf. My opinion. Look again. Remember. You're a celebrity. We don't want to play it up, though. Oh, well, can I thank people there? No. You let Bruce speak for you. Again, you know what's amazing about this? As you've come out the other side of a lot of this stuff, what you see, especially with like the fats, this advice right here cost Michelle Preston her voice. It cost her big time. These people were allowed to basically construe any narrative they want about her. And what they did is they constructed a narrative that essentially says that she's too ignorant to control her own destiny, her own finances. They worry about a child in her care, all this stuff again. And whether or not you think any of that is true is irrelevant, because ultimately they're speaking for her. They were her voice. And look at the disservice that they did to her voice. It's wild to me. So they're just an at or a name. And thank you. Nothing more. Oh, okay. Better not. It's funny how he gave in, by the way, to Patty. Oh, yeah. He liked that, though. He's like, oh, I get to be the voice, not you. And she was like, oh, okay, that sounds great. Then they'll want more. So again, is putting this together as part of setting fire to Hale's reputation and raising money while they're at it. Oh, let's leave them wanting more. And remember, right here is where the celebrity thing comes in. So they're telling her the way to camouflage that, the way to keep it out between these two texts where they're like, hey, can I say something? No. Let Bruce speak for you, because otherwise you might get to know. People might see you out there and it's going to harm your ability to do your little cash grab. That's how ultimately, when you have a lawyer saying, you're a celebrity, but we don't want to embrace it. That is because of legal measures. They actually want an easier path to trying to get a hold of Jeremy Hale's money. That's always been the plan. It's wild to see. Like I say, when it's if you put names here, I can mention it specifically to thank people. Bruce again. Bruce will be your voice. I would not. I wonder how she feels now about all these people being her voice there. 1 second, I got a call. If we weren't in 3 courts, we could use the money to finish our house. Which money exactly? I got a call again. Excuse me. I had a drink go down not very well there. I'm like, oh no. Not on the mic. Not on the mic. It's funny. I was going back through one of the old Fats videos. And one of the things I think made them turn on their mods was the fact that the mods muted the Fat one time. You know, well, she muted her, and she did not seem happy. So I think that's the real reason that she turned on them. But they talk about, again, I'm curious what money, by the way. Yeah, no public response is probably best. So again, you know what's funny about this too? They're talking about fundraising here, you know. Now they're not talking about the biggest fundraising. That is yet to come. But they are still talking about money and donations through this, thanking people and items like that, right? And later on, Michelle Preston will be called ungrateful. They will talk about how she never wanted to thank people publicly, right? She never said those things publicly. And it's really funny because all of these antis behind the scenes, they agreed that Michelle shouldn't say those things publicly. Oh, what a setup. You gotta kind of love it. That's kind of funny, right? So if you want to mention someone for a specific chat they made, put it here. I will mention it. Then you have Michelle. Please say if we weren't spending all of our money on legal stuff, we could finish our house. Okay. You know what's crazy is at that time, part of the stuff they were spending on, that would be things that they themselves had brought or wrought. So, I mean, when you're looking at this, they're absolutely trying to monetize and trying to blame Hales for, again, what money is she spending out of pocket? Like, where is it? Because Bruce is doing this stuff. Depends on who you ask or what you look at. He's either doing it, quote unquote, for free, or he's doing it for contingency. Looks like contingency to me, but you know, it's not paying out of pocket at the time. What else is she paying for? What's stopping her from building? I mean, what exactly? You know, the other lawyers, by the way, they were paid for. So, I mean, what exactly? What money, you know? And that's what's here. No, because then it raises, quote unquote, what money, question marks, and all kinds of. Isn't that an interesting statement, huh? Because then it'll get people asking about what kind of money you have. I like that one there. You know? Like, that's a really interesting statement right there. Making sure I flip to the next one. You see that? That's Bruce saying. No, we don't want to bring that up because then they're going to start asking about what money you have. Well, I think he was right about that. Maybe he shouldn't. They were even then, though, trying to hide the idea of money. Isn't that interesting? Michelle, we would be buying lumber every month and materials. Unfounded. We would be buying material. Here's what I don't understand. They, again, they live off the government. They say that they cannot afford to live. They are not making enough money to live. Now, again, as a unit, if we count all three people in and the money they bring in, now over a third of what they bring in goes to one vehicle. One vehicle, the Jeep, you know. But they're talking about they couldn't afford to live or do anything, but yet at the same time back then, well, they're telling people all of that stuff and they need money to do whatever. They're also saying that they would be buying lumber and materials every month. Again, where's that money coming from? It's almost like one of these two, either they are creating a narrative, which is garbage, or they are hiding money as part of the narrative grift. One or the other. You choose. You know, you absolutely choose. But isn't that an interesting one? you know, and then his own, how is that? Sleep. Here's how is that from Bruce. Sleep. His own daughters do not talk to him. His. What is there? We skip. I'm curious about that. I'm curious where that went. You know, where we lost that. Huh. My grade on revealing the CPS scoop. Look at this. A? Well, not A++. Ooh, plus, oh, 4 pluses. Are you happy now? Look at them. I mean, they're sitting here. They're like, oh, we could put this together. We're going to say out loud that there's 21 others that Jeremy Hales is responsible for. All of them that we're working on getting the documentation for. And we're going to say he's responsible for them all. They all plotted behind the scenes to do this. I mean, this is just nuts when you see this stuff, man. Because again, they say that other people, no rush to send to 2 Lees until, let me make sure I don't miss anything. No rush to send to 2 Lees until I read them. Patty's like, I know, it's just a wonderful revelation. Then you have Michelle Preston. Oh, yeah, of course. Patty, let Tyra spill her guts even more. She doesn't want to betray Lloyd, at least not yet. So as excited as I am, stifle it for now. She will eventually tell you. Ask about the twisted tea. Ask if she drank the... It cuts off. These people, man. Let's see here. Wait, so we have a date change? Let me check the time, by the way. I think the sound thing. Let me just check something real fast. Okay, yeah. So he comes in. I think it's right here. Yeah. There's a change right about here, I think. Let me see. Can we get some clues? There it is. Hasn't done anything that I didn't fucking tell. Wait, one more time. All right, sorry. I was trying to get captions up there just to see if it'll help. All right. Hasn't done anything that I didn't fucking tell her to do. Marla hasn't done anything that I didn't effing tell her to do. Marla, huh? Marla is my puppet. Isn't that's how I understood that? Marla. 1 second. Let me make a note here. Marla. Put Scott Stark's name out there. I did it. The very day. You know what's crazy about that? So Scott Stark's name came up, right? You know, they attacked all of us about, oh, they're putting a bullseye on this brand new guy. Remember all of that? Lynette sitting behind the scenes screaming about how Marla's my puppet. She doesn't do anything without my say-so. I put out Scott Stark's name. I did it. Listen to her scream, by the way. Like, I wouldn't deal with this shit, you know. I'll tell you, even like angry, your friends don't talk to you like the way these people do. They're just... Hey, I talked to Jeannie, and she said she needed $1,800 down. Look at that. So, LP said she talked to Jeannie. She talked to Jeannie, huh? Isn't that interesting? If for any of the questions, she threw Jeannie under that bus, right? Jeannie said that she needed $1,800 down. $1,800 down. Now this clears up again. We've heard about money-wise. We've actually seen them discussing the contracts with Scott Stark. But here they are in their own words. It's so strange to, let me see. Scott Stark. 1 second. It's so weird to hear, especially when everything fell apart after a while about money and how everything played out. You know, because for the longest time, again, they told the world that they were doing everything for free, you know, and then we end up with contingency stuffs. We end up hearing about the 1,800 and 1 second. The 1,800 thing too, according to Bruce's statement, looks very much like he's saying, I paid that, you know. Well, I'll show you that in a minute.
I did it. Marla didn't do it. She's never been told not to put Stark's name out there because I did it myself. Again, I'm not on the groups, so post it. Show me what she fucking wrote because I don't go on the groups.
Good God.
So repost it, screenshot it, and put it right here, right now.
Could you imagine, by the way, again, this is the kind of stuff that you deal with when dealing with the Lynette Preston. Her calling you up. This is what Tina said that Lynette Preston would do. That if she would get angry about something, she would call and scream and berate, trying to talk down to you like you're a dog. And she said that John Cook would be the same way. He would get around, he would start screaming about things, but they treat people, they demand your help and you're fealty in something, but they yell at you like this. This again, would you deal with that? I know my response to it. I would flip the hell out. By the way, at the end of this video, if you've not watched this video, you will not believe the sound clip that's in here. It is insane. Where she's talking about her grandson offing Hales. Oh, it's it is something else.
So we want.
Okay, let's skip over those people. I want to. Now, this is pretty interesting stuff. Now, here, this is, I think, all music until the. Yeah, okay. I want to read this to you. All right. This is a cease and desist. This was sent to Shara via the Fats. Now, what's amazing about this is that these idiots, they actually think that showing something that they say allows them, there's no fair use involved. Now, again, they do the same. They show people freaking the symbols that they utilize. They show their avatars. They show clips. Sometimes they play all kinds of bullshit, but they think fair use exists if they do something. But it doesn't exist for sure. They also still are of the opinion that you have to put up a disclaimer for fair use to work, which is, like I said, the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You know, fair use, again, give me a second. Oh, God, I used some of that nose spray. Holy Lord. I don't know why I use this stuff. I guess it's because it works. My God. This weather change is making my head hurt. Ooh, yes, baby. Oh, Lord.
Love you.
I love you, too. Thank you for telling me that. You want to go have fun?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, somebody sent some money. So S. Shine sent money, by the way, to say that you can clean. Does that sound good?
No.
No? All right, we better go have fun.
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow? Okay. Okay.
Did you forget that?
I didn't forget. I remembered. I was just mentioning that. All right.
Okay, but
Okay. Well, you go You go upstairs. Close the door. Love you. Okay. Thank you, baby. You and Sissy are the best kids ever. Thank you. Hey, close the door. I didn't hear it close. Okay. She's so funny. I like that answer, by the way. Adair said, I don't think Nick understood that LP. She has 2 volumes. It's loud and louder. That's true. I agree with that, by the way. I mean, honestly, like she likes to scream at the people that are around her. I don't understand through everything why people put up with it. You don't have to. I get why Tina put up with it for a minute, and that was because Tina had somebody like trying to utilize their kid essentially as a method to I'm going to say emotionally blackmail. Emotional blackmail. My God, man. StreamYard's freezing up. Give me a second. If I disappear, I will be right back. By the way, this thing is being stupid. I think StreamYard's is trying to lock up. It is. Hey, if I disappear for a second, I will be right back. Okay. I may have to end stream. I'm not sure. This is nuts. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it won't allow to move forward. I'm going to have to end and start. I'll be right back. Okay. It'll pop out. Just tell people I'll be right back if I disappear. And we are back. All right. That took a minute. StreamYards, I was like, man, that was actually not a problem on the computer. That is a freaking StreamYards issue. That was lovely. I've got to reset my place I was in and everything real quick. That was a mess, though. At least I can do it fast, At least you can fix things quicker than used to be. God, Lord. Give me a second here. Let me put this back up. In the past, it would take an entire reset of the entire computer in order to do that, Give me 1 second. Let me make sure this is locking right. Okay. Everybody see that good? I thought we're going to have to entertain ourselves. Yeah, I know. It takes a minute. On top of it, we have all the weather problem. Like somebody said, got experience fixing. Yeah. Well, part of it's weather too. We're having little interruptions in service. So I'm surprised. Again, if the entire broadcast goes down, that may happen. But until we're just done in. We'll keep going. But here, this came up. So what's funny is apparently they've done this twice to Shara, according to their own statements. They've sent her not 1, but 2 cease and desists. By the way, Fats, let me make this clear to you. Why send a cease and desist threatening somebody and then send them another cease and desist, threatening them yet again? If you're so confident in it, it has no more weight to send a second one. People are allowed to utilize images that you put up. You put up something online and you're talking about shit, they can talk about it too. They can talk about how you're selling on it. They have no understanding of how any of this shit works. That's what they run one of the worst shows. The reason people watch is because it's a train wreck, you know. And we're watching it real time, people that may well end up speed running themselves into some real problems. You know, they think, like I said, they think they understand protective orders. They think they understand protective order hearings and closed hearings. They think that they understand what they can do with monies that have been donated, large amounts of monies. I mean, it's just crazy. They think they know everything. And this is the same thing. So they sent this over on May 14th, 2025. This, again, they've done this twice, though. So I don't know the newest one's time on it, but my Lord. Oh, man. Oh, that's great there. You know, the clot is shrinking for you. That's great. Hey, DeFloofy, I saw that. I love to you, my friend. Love to you. I hope that you said it's shrinking slowly. Glad you were on the mend. You know, I'd been thinking about you. I'd wondered how you were doing. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're here too. You know, I'm glad you're here. Glad you can come in, goof off, and have a bit of fun. So you see that this was supposedly, I haven't heard from Shara saying that she got these also verified or certified mail plus email. By the way, I've made it very clear that I do not accept any kind of email shit like this. I've made that clear to multiple people, and the last one I made it clear to is only me, because again, how am I verifying that you, you know, you cannot tell me you're going to do something via email and be like, oh, you know, this is how it's going to work. No. You know, you notice too, they're not sending this through a law firm. They're sending it through their own stupid asses, because, you know, they're sitting around they're probably sitting around with either defunct lawyer or a lawyer that just got in trouble for some nonsense, or more likely they are sitting around with AI and they are generating forms. So let's look at this here. Shara Michelle Wolf. Ari. Immediate cease and desist, copyright infringement, defamation, and false representation. Yeah, their own words, by the way. When they post shit and Shara just plays what they've said themselves. It's the same thing they say about Miyagi. You know, Miyagi will play their own words. Shara did the same thing. She would play their own words, show what they themselves have been. Oh my God, that's defamation. Oh Lord. Yeah, defaming you with your own words. Isn't that weird? It's just so bizarre. They are so afraid that people are going to that people are going to expose them there. I mean, it's so amazing. So, dear Miss Wolf, this letter serves as a formal demand that you immediately cease and desist from all unauthorized use of my intellectual property, defamatory statements, and false representation under Florida Statute 668.50 and federal copyright law. Just random, and federal copyright law, you know, as well. So, you know, you figure out which laws, by the way. You know, I love that. Statute 668.50. Let's see. I'm looking something up real quick. I'm curious about it. I'm going to see... Give me 1 second. So under Florida statute, what is that? 668.50. What is copyright? defamation or false representation have to do with it? I'm going to keep reading in just a second. I'm looking something up. So, wait a minute. So, Florida Statute 668.50, the Electronic Signature Act, is that what we're talking about? Wait, isn't that what that is? Florida 668.50, Florida Statute 668.50. That is the Uniform Electronic Transaction Act? Is that what we're talking about here? I need to look at, just humor me for 1 second. Let me look something up on this, because I'm very curious about something that has to do with, like, what exactly does this do for it? Let me ask. Again, I'm not asking legal advice of the. So as far as copyright, this is all about copyright, defamation, and false representation, right? Isn't that what? Let me. I want to ask. I'm going to ask AI if this works in here correctly. Like I said, I'm very curious about this. If I'm going to be threatened, or if somebody I know is going to be threatened, I want to just see what the statute, how that works in, misquote Florida statute. I am reading that right. Florida 668.50. All right. I was just making sure I was reading that right. I like I said, I apologize. I'm just looking at this, Yeah. So I'm asking AI. I ask AI, hey, is this a misuse of Florida Statute 668.50? And it's like, yeah. 668.50 is the Florida Electronic Signature Act. It validates electronic records and electronic signatures. That's correct? Like, I know there's some lawyer, some very law-minded folks out there, right? But that's not really helping them, is it? I mean, it's kind of straight. By the way, if your screen is blurry, I heard people say, like, I realize that this is how it looks, by the way, on the YouTube play, with the video that I'm showing it from. But if it looks blurry, do one thing. This will help you on all stuff, especially if you watch on your phone. Okay. What you need to do, there's a little wheel at the top of your YouTube play, right? Most people don't realize this, but check this out. If you have a blurry thing, click the wheel. All right. When the wheel comes up, you'll have quality will be the top thing. It will automatically set to the quickest streaming standard, which is oftentimes 360p. That is mud. So it is going to set lower. What you have to do is go in and put it at a higher. You can either put it at higher picture quality, or you can set it to advanced. When you click advanced, you will be able to take it to 720p. That's the highest. I'm not streaming video games, so I don't stream at 1080p, which is because we live in the nowhere, but I stream at 720, which is still an HD quality. So if it's small, yes, for sure. But if you have a muddy screen or a muddy screen quality, that is oftentimes that's just YouTube. YouTube will do that to you. Again, top of the screen, the little wheel, especially if you're on a mobile device. And I just did it on mine. Mine was set. It resets it all the time too. It reset it back to 360p. So gross, isn't it? I hate it that it does that. But Anyway, with Florida statute 668, look up 668.50 and federal copyright law, specifically the Copyright Act of 1976, your actions constitute willful infringement of my rights and expose you to significant legal liability. Again, this is what does this mean, by the way? These mean nothing. This is just an attempt to intimidate someone. And what are they trying to intimidate? Well, they're trying to say that your unauthorized actions include misappropriation of my copyrighted logos and art. Again, you can very well show them when these people, they confuse false striking people online with something you can do in court. That's why when they went after 540.08, when they tried to put together their thumbnail litigation, remember how they all celebrated that too? And I was like, well, that's stupid. We all were, but we were also like, even if you won that would be really stupid. This is the same idea. You absolutely have the ability within discourse to showcase these people, their channel, the materials. You are allowed to react to what they do. You are allowed under fair use, which again, they put up a disclaimer for every live stream. You are allowed to showcase their logos. You could showcase their artwork as part of that. That's what Shara was doing. Shara showcased some of their, of course, the channel artwork, but also when they were selling items, she was showcasing what they were doing with that. Absolutely. That would be protected. Unauthorized reproduction and distribution of my YouTube videos. Oh, no. She is not redistributing your YouTube video. She is taking a segment of it and she is transforming it under fair use. This is a very stupid move. Again, they're not spending any money doing this, by the way. This is an intimidation tactic. They're hoping that Shara would fold, and Shara didn't, by the way, but they were hoping that they would threaten her and she would just, pack up the tent and go home. Now, they were very okay with her talking about and potentially writing articles or making videos about her Jeremy Hales if she would have. Right? They would have been totally okay with that. But with them, no. Making false and defamatory statements about me and my channel. Which false and defamatory statements are we talking about there? I'd be really curious about that, by the way. I would. I'd be very curious. Especially, she has talked about what these people, by the way, these are the same idiots that said that someone calling another person a PDF file is an opinion and is protected under free speech. You can do that all day long, according to them. They say, if that's okay, isn't everything else okay to say? I'm confused. I'm confuzzled here. Seriously. What an idiot. Oh my God. Misrepresenting yourself as a journalist without proper... There are no credentials. This is the dumbest thing. You don't have to have credentialing. There is no recognized uniformed credentialing of journalists. Look it up. That is the stupidest thing ever. See, the reason that doesn't happen is because you and I, we have certain items that protect us. They allow us. It's called our constitutional rights. When you take those and you put them together, we all enjoy the protections. And it makes us citizen journalists. So to say that you don't have the proper credentialing, that is the dumbest thing ever. I think that is hilarious. Shara is absolutely a journalist. any of us could identify as a journalist. It's funny too, because the Fats have called themselves journalists. They have said that as a defense. So they're saying, again, they're journalists without any quote unquote proper credentialing. And yet, that's so dumb. Let me ask ChatGPT. I wanted to mock this idea. What should you say to someone demanding your journalism credentials? One second. Let's see what it says. All right. I was making sure that it gives me everything like quote. It's very easy. This is what she should say. She'd say, journalism credentials don't exist. There is no license, no governing board, no official certification. If you can read, ask questions, verify information, and publish facts, congratulations, that's journalism. The only credential required is this wonderful thing. It's called the First Amendment, which came free with citizenship. So, does she have that credential? Oh, yeah. She could have sent a copy of the First Amendment. That would have been funny. If you think journalism needs a license, you're confusing it with plumbing, or you're hoping criticism requires permission. Either way, you don't need credentials. You need receipts. And as far as Shar is concerned, I think Shar has plenty of those. I mean, straight up. It's so dumb, though. Within the United States. Well, it's more than a First Amendment. Yeah, I mean, people think that because large corporations control the flow of news and the flow of information, that somehow you require licensure to talk about items and to say that you're a journalist covering something. But that's not how that works. If you want to see that on display, and you want to see it on display with police officers, watch any of these auditors that go out, that stand around, they film police, they film from the sidewalks, they'll film banks to see how certain things happen. But look at them and look at what they talk about when they're approached. Tell them, hey, you know what am I doing? I'm recording for a story. I am an independent journalist. All of you are. It's just, it's such an absurdity. Lord God, man. Let's see. ChatGPT is like, it's like, this is the definition of boilerplate. I was like, yeah, I asked it. I was like, on a scale of 1 to 100, like, how would you rate this as boilerplate? 1 being it is an original work of art. Congratulations, you're hired. And 100 being boiled. It was like, it's 150. It's awful. And 5, publishing false information regarding ex parte communications. That's really funny, by the way. That is really funny. Give me a second. I love that they tried to lock down anything that they've said, They've tried to say, with ex parte communication, this is They don't even understand what ex parte communications are. Publishing false information regarding ex parte communication. What? What in the world? What are they? What I'm curious what they're talking about with ex parte communication. What do they think they're talking about? What communications do they think they're talking about? And who is it with? You know, that's the question here. Ex parte communications, they have a specific meaning. And so, oh my God, this is hurting my brain. There's so much of this that is so wrong. I'm like, please, you know, if by the way, if you used AI for this at the time, go and request your money back. This is bad. This is really bad. I mean, holy moly, man. I can't believe like how bad this is. So let's see. The under Florida law, especially Florida statute 817-535, Florida statute 817-535. One second. 817. I'm curious about what? So in plain English, let's see. 817-535 is meant to target people who file fake or materially misleading documents in official records, like court filings or public registries, to harm someone. Huh? What? So it applies to filed or recorded in an official government record, and it has to be knowingly false and materially misleading and filed with intent to harass, defraud, injure, or intimidate. What counts as an official record under that statute would be a court filing, a clerk of court records, a recorded lien or deed, a UCC filing, public registries maintained by the government, formal items, not media. So what the fuck do they think they're talking about with that? Because they say it's the filing or who helped write this shit? This is awful. Like, this is awful. Like, what are they talking about? Are they talking about a YouTube video? Are they trying to say that the facts were brought up in, is this supposed to be about a court statement? Because if this is, again, what this doesn't do, what this is attempting to state, in my opinion, it's talking about what she makes as statements either on Twitter or on YouTube. What the fuck does she think she's talking about? Because again, she's quoting, she said that it's copyright infringement, her logos and artwork, her YouTube videos, statements about her and her channel, her not being a real journalist because she doesn't have credentials, and the ex parte. I'm trying to think of any ex parte communications that would be with the FATs. And even then, with ex parte communications, how there would be something that would be an official record. Because the rest of this is about, I mean, again, this is so log jammed and stupid. Much of this seems to be. It's just all a mess. It is an absolute mess. Furthermore, as established in Florida case law and the Florida Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act, your actions constitute unfair and deceptive practice. Jesus God. This is so stupid. This is so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Whew. Okay. All right. I can make it through this. I'll be okay. Oh, God, I can do it. Oh, God, this is so dumb. Legal framework and violations. Copyright infringement. Unauthorized use violates 17 USC 501. Okay. Let's see where the other page is. Another here. Here we go. All right. It violates DMCA provisions. Again, that's fair use. That 100% everything she does. Statutory damages. Again, she's trying to scare her with $150,000 per willful infringement. Like I said, you come after Shara, I guarantee that we will fundraise. We will get her a lawyer. We'll get her a very good lawyer in that. And one of the things you will be on the hook for is this garbage. Plus, if Shara has been threatened and more because of the actions of these people. She's had some pretty nasty stuff pointed her way. What's amazing about it, too, is they've also tried to do reputational damage because they've said repeatedly that this woman is not a journalist. They've said it over and over. And yet, this group of idiots, they came together. They brought her in as their journalist. They said it so many freaking times. God, man. She wrote this to Facebook, so she sent this to YouTube Legal. Oh my God. I bet they were laughing the whole time. They're like, this is so bad. She sent this to YouTube Legal, man. Give me a second. I'm going to recopy this, and I'm going to make sure that you can see everything blown up. Give me a minute. I'm going to do it this way. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put it up as a screenshot, and that way you can see it. And then we'll go back to the video where the stuff plays after we do this. Here we go. Check that out. You do it this way. Look how nice and giant that is. Isn't that much better? So they have the DMCA listed. Again, DMCA comes up a lot with YouTube, but you have fair use. Again, just because you can hit something on YouTube does not mean that you can protect that. They said that they have the $150K per defamation under Florida defamation laws. You have 2 years from publication to face liability. Good luck there. Your false statements constitute defamation per se. Recent Florida legislative changes have strengthened protections against false media representation. Oh my God, the FATs are threatening someone. Can you imagine that? They're threatening someone over violations for misrepresentation. Good Lord. I mean, these people are some of the most ignorant and uninformed morons I've ever freaking seen. And yet they want to go out and they want to threaten people and say, Lord. False represent. I like this. Your claim to journalistic status is subject to Florida's journalism or journalist privilege laws, establishes clear parameters for that's about protection. Oh my God. That's about, oh my God. It's the rules on journalistic privilege. It's often, you'll hear it referred to when people talk about it. They'll talk about it as reporter privilege, you'll hear reporter privilege when they're talking about that, though. But this is the discussion about journalists being forced to reveal sources or unpublished information. That's where that conversation comes from. Oh my God. What do they think that means? Good Lord. Could you imagine? These are people that told everyone that they understand the law and everything that it means, but they think that false representation is somehow decided under, oh Lord, I don't even know what to say. Somebody could have a real field day. Somebody needs to give this to a few lawyers out there and tell them, hey, have a field day with some of these. You gotta enjoy that, right? God, these people, man, they make your brain hurt some days. Don't they? 1 second. One minute. Okay, give me a second. All right. So demands for immediate action. So number 1, immediately remove my intellectual property from your platform, including all logos and artwork, video content, any. What do they think any derivative works is going to be for theirs? What I'm curious what they think would fall under that. I'm curious. What do you think they think that means? Oh my Lord, man. I'm looking up one of the statutes here. I'm curious about trying to make it work with some of the stuff that they've thrown in, you know. I'm curious. Again, what they think is being taken from any of their items. Like what else? Do they think that do they think that items that included their voice? Well, what do they think falls in there? Within 48 hours, cease all defamatory content. Statements. Yeah, it's not defamatory. Issue public retractions, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. They're dumber than I thought. There you go. I actually gave them way too much credit. How's that? How's that for one? Provide written confirmation of compliance. Supply a comprehensive list of all locations where my content has been used. Permanently discontinue any representation as a journalist in relation to my it's okay that she represents herself as a journalist, just not with your stanky ass content, right? Oh my God, that's funny. Cease making claims about ex parte communications. Delete all stored copies of my intellectual. Oh my Lord. Consequences of non-compliance. Failure. Immediate DMCA takedown notices. Yeah, again, what I'd really like to see is somebody monetize, sue these dumbasses for taking down their stuff. You know why people don't do that stuff? It's because most of the time people don't have the money to go through and deal with the takedown bullshit. Like again, when Sargon of Akkad, when he went through and had something decided pretty quickly, it still costs somewhere between $30,000 and $50,000. That's also why the Fats don't go and file anything either. You know, just because they bilked $100,000 out of somebody doesn't mean. See, there's also this other thing, and you see it with anybody out there. You know, for myself, for example, with statements people make that are absolutely false and absolutely just malicious and try to, damage you. The initial round of funding it would require to go after somebody is usually met, right? And it's quite high. Like you go out, you raise $10,000. People are like, oh yeah, you hit that goal. You're good to go now, right? No, you're not. You're going to have many other rounds of funding too. So typically, people, they avoid it. Otherwise, you end up stalling out. What would happen too, if they, like the Fats here, if they decided to sue, we saw a guy, I'm going to just say a guy, that decided to sue Recato Law, right? He caused Recato Law to spend quite a bit of money. But you know why the lawsuit stalled out? Because dude ran out of money. He talked about that publicly. He ran out of money. Now, with Recato trying to get his stuff back together, he accepted it just be dismissed and over with. With these people, God, if they would run out of money. And when they did, they'd run out of money faster than anybody they'd go up against. And when they do, that's when you hit them, and you hit them hard in the pocket. Federal copyright infringement litigation. Good luck with that. State law defamation claims. Ooh, I'm going to get you in state and federal court. Ooh. How's that worked out, by the way? How did state claims work out for LMNOP? She tried the same thing under under the thumbnail case. How did that work out for her, by the way? She dropped it, and she's still on the hook for quite a bit of money. Injunctive relief, minimum statutory damages, attorney fees and costs. Your actions have caused substantial damage to my reputation and business. Oh my God. These people, they raised insane amounts of money, more money than they've ever seen. They also, she's been bragging. This is the funny thing that absolutely destroys any claim. Today, she was bragging about the stuff that they do over there. Ha ha, you're idiots because you feed the algorithm for them. Oh, so you're saying that the stuff that you do, like the stuff in Ohio, for example, all your crazy claims, you actually benefit from those things. That's a wild statement, isn't it? How you claiming damages when? This requires your immediate attention. All rights and remedies are expressly reserved. Sincerely, Lisa Lee. 2 Lees in a pond. Oh, man, it's so scary. Let me go back to the video now. Give me a second. Such a scary, scary letter. I wonder what clown. I mean, again, was that written by one of these clowns, or was it written by AI? God, if that was AI too, I'd send my AI back home. I'd be like, AI, you're drunk, go home. Now, then you have this right here. This is where, I want you to really listen to this. This is crazy business, okay? I don't know if you haven't heard this yet. Woo, baby. All right, check it out here.
That's why my grandson wants to talk to David Helm. He wants to talk to Patty Plummer. He wants to talk to you. He wants to talk to anyone who will talk to him. Who? Because he's willing to say, who? He's been with me my entire life. Okay.
So they're talking about the grandson. You catch this. Oh, he's willing to talk to anybody. Now, I wonder, by the way, as things have moved forward, how that frames up now.
You've been with me for 18 years. Wait, who are you talking about? Your son, grandson. Oh, okay, sure.
Wait, her grandson has been with her for 18 years? I'm confused here. Did Hales win this case? No, God, no. He won. So there isn't just one case out there. That's the thing. You got to remember. Okay, so it started out with there were protective orders. There were 2. All right. There was a protective order that was filed by this woman, and there was a protective order filed by Hales and George. Okay. She ended up dropping her protective order like a bad habit. One second. Hey, kiddo. Hey, are you enjoying your lazy time?
Yeah, for right now.
All right, well, go have fun. You better go have fun. You know, because tomorrow's going to be one of those hard cleaning days. Yeah, I know. Oh, you better go have fun, man, for real. Okay? You want to give me a hug, though, real quick?
Yeah.
Give me a hug, kiss. Come on.
And you know.
Come on. Come here. Come here.
I know that. You know.
Give me a hug.
I wonder how your mom is doing.
How my mom's doing?
Yeah.
You talked to her earlier. You talked to Gigi. What are you talking about? You wonder how my mom is doing? You just talked to her earlier. Bruh. Hey, you need to.
It's Gigi for you.
Yeah, well, it's Gigi.
Me.
It's Gigi for you. Yeah, it's my mom for me. But hey, go upstairs so I can finish this up, okay, baby?
And our mom is gonna be at work for you know how many days?
Yep, I know it's crazy, huh? But hey, go have fun. She's so funny. But yeah, anyway, so you had the protective orders. He did win protective order, and there had been 2 violations on that. Now, there is another hearing that is coming up with that. Then you had state filings. As far as state filings, oh yeah, those state filings, they ended up being just an absolute trash fire mess. You had the what we call the thumbnail case, where this lady sued a bunch of people, including Hales and also DUI guy, a few other people, for using her name and likeness. Out of that, they end up dropping it, but not before they screw up. They end up getting sanctioned, even though they're waiting. The idea of sanctions, yes, sanctions will be allowed, but we don't know how much, because you also have the other that other lawsuit. There is an absolute just train wreck disaster right this moment. And then you have the federal litigation, which all right, let me see if I'm adding myself correctly here. I'm actually on until I'm waiting for the modem to fire back up, because we had a power blink. It's crazy. That's all it takes. The power actually didn't die. My power died. My power didn't die. I love it. But no, we're dealing with, what's crazy is the weather's not that bad here. It's like, as far as terrible, I'm on my phone for right this second. Again, I'm waiting for my internet to kick and for the modem to actually come back up. You know how that goes. So you just have to give me a minute. Otherwise, I can't play. I want to play the back end of that because there's a freaking thread in it, and that makes me that irritates me. I'm like, I'm a test. Hey, I think it may have came back up. Let's find out. Give me 1 second. All right. Hey, I can hear myself enter. That's really weird too. So I'm gonna add myself. I gotta mute. Hello. All right. Now I'm back. Give me 1 minute. Let me destroy the other. Let me get myself out of this here. Let me bring back up the chat, and then we'll have to set it up. What's funny is the power blinked. Like I could hear it. You know, it didn't blink hard enough to turn off all the main lights, but it's enough to kill the computer because the computer, you know, is shielded against surges. So it kicked the surge protectors on the computer and made them go off. But it tried to, it blinked about 7 or 8 times. You could hear it just go click, 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 because I could hear all the, you know, what I'm wondering is if that's weather doing it or if it's the power company being stupid, because it could also be them. All right, give me a second here. Love it. Yeah, well, you know, that needs a generator. I do need a generator. Unfortunately, you know, one of my plans after the beer bug was to get a generator for the house. And unfortunately, have you looked at the prices of generators lately? They are insane. I mean, they are freaking insane. Yes, I wanted one. You know. All right, let's see. Is this up here? Yeah. Okay, we're going to play this. I'm going to play it to its certain point. All right, there's a place I want you to hear. And then when it gets there, we'll talk about everything. But I want it to get to there. Even if this cuts off, I want it to be part of this broadcast. All right, I don't want to have to pick it up later. So here.
He's not afraid of Jeremy Renner. Good. I would love to talk to him. Stand up for me. I would. Said I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to have him come after me. And he will. And he'll come after your grandson, but your grandson can handle him. My grandson will call a bunch of people that he knows and have him killed. No, he won't.
Did you hear that? Did you all hear that? My grandson will call a bunch of people that he knows, and he will have him. I mean, you caught that, right? That is a straight up, clear as day statement. Yeah, you can't miss that statement in there. Again, listen.
Can handle him. My grandson will call a bunch of people that he knows and have him killed. No.
God, I mean, just straight up stated that. And she's so like, ha, ha, ha. I mean, these are the same people. They have talked about when there was discussion about hitmen. When there's been talks about, again, how many statements lately have we seen about violence? You have Ray making the statement that he keeps saying was not a statement of violence. That he says that's all a lie. You know, it's all a lie made to besmear and besmirch. You know, I mean, again, you have Ray making a statement, quote, he might have a lot, talking about Hales. Hales might have a lot of ammunition and those old bang sticks, but it only takes one of each to get the point across. When I was young, we didn't have a whole lot of money. We counted our ammo. And we made it count. That's all I can say. Now, he, of course, says that was about hunting, you know, because when you're hunting, you know, you send messages to the things that you're hunting, right? It's about sending it to get the point across. It's not about bringing meat to the table, even though that's what he said it was about. But yeah, then you have Lips making a statement, asking John Cook, She doesn't understand how he hasn't shot. They don't say the who, but it comes across very clear. And she makes the old with her hand, and she makes the old pew pew. Huh. You got these people. They have all made some crazy statements about ending someone, and that I don't know how you interpret that any other way. That is clear as day. She's sitting around. She's talking to somebody she knows is recording this, and she's comfortable enough to say statements like that. That's crazy, huh?
He won't. He wouldn't do that. He thinks he's tough.
He thinks he's tough. He thinks he's so. You have Shara, and again with that statement there. I mean, she's talking about. So when you listen to everything with it, you got to think. It reminds me of the same thing with the little one. She's saying, she's been around this kid for 18 years. He will protect her. He will do whatever. I mean, listen to it in context with the statements. I was afraid the power would go out again. That's why I wanted to throw it all in there. But I want you to think about the context that comes with it.
That's why my grandson wants to talk to David Helm. He wants to talk to Patty Plummer. He wants to talk to you. He wants to talk to anyone who will talk to him. Who? Because he's willing to say, who? He's been with me my entire life.
It's been with my entire life.
He's been with me for 18 years. Wait, who are you talking about? Your son, your grandson, right? Oh, okay, sure. He's not afraid of Jeremy. Well, good. I would love to talk to him. Stand up for me.
He'll stand up for me. See, Shara in the conversation is like, hey, that's good. He'll talk to whomever. Oh, that's great or whatever. And then it takes a very dark turn very quickly. Very quickly.
I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to have him come after me. And he will. And he'll come after your grandson, but your grandson can handle him. My grandson.
So with this, again, the framework changes drastically. What you think is being discussed to here right now. Yeah, my grandson, he can hold his own. We're talking about, not being intimidated. All right. Then it doesn't turn into an intimidation talk anymore.
Call a bunch of people that he knows and have him killed.
He will call a bunch of people that he knows, and he will have him. That is nuts. What else was in here? That's so crazy. What is this here? Let's see. Also, the exact protection order. Oh, yeah. Your agency referred to in this investigation is a public record in your agency in this case. These are both public records. A critical audio file is quote unquote missing, as well as your agency is aware of the seriousness of this case. You are a sunshine state. Please send me these records without further delay. If there are any more narrative supplements after narrative 2, I need those as well. Thank you. This was sent on January the 20th, 2026 at 11:03 a.m. by the requester. So, message from requester. Your agency has, this was this follow-up. My bad. I read them out of sequence. The first one was your agency has a copy of the protective order. So it's public record, part of a case. You referred a copy of this. I am requesting the protective order your agency used in the investigation. It would be interesting to see. Let's see what's this here. Thank you. No, I don't have any screenshots, just what I heard. Several weeks ago, she became upset because I wanted to leave her story when John became, I'm going to say, accostive toward me. And I told her I will not work with him. And I questioned some of the other things regarding the baby. I said baby. I said neighbor and baby. Baber. That's funny. A neighbor baby's a baby. A baby and the neighbor's little dogs. I would like to see what she saying. Just because I can prove the truth. Let's see, what's this here? John Cook. Oh, yeah, the old alligator, you know. I am under control. If the little one wasn't around, I would have pewed him in the face already and fed him to an alligator. Fun times, right? Let's see, by the way, are there any other sound clips? Let me check and see if there's any other sound clip in here that I can't remember if there's any on the back end. Just give me 1 minute. No, that's enough. I mean, good Lord. So again, with that, I know disruption. I hate it when power goes down too. It costs you hundreds of people, which I understand. But I'm like, damn you, power. Damn you, taking 600 people. Oh, I mean, that's quite crazy though, isn't it? You have her absolutely stating that, you know, she's bragging about it. She's bragging about her grandson would do harm for her, would end somebody for her. She's laughing about it like it's a good old time. I mean, that's just, that's wild stuff. Let's hit some super chats, man. I'm gonna hit them in case before we end up losing power yet again or something. You know, let me hit these 1 second here, by the way. I'm having to reload everything. You know how that goes. Oh, Lord. Oh, by the way, Emma. Hey, Emma, thank you. Sent $5 for Bug's cleaning crew. That's hilarious. Thank you for that. I will note that to her. I'll be like, man, you got $5 for your cleaning crew, child. What you gonna do with that, little one? She's been so funny lately with a bunch of this stuff too. She's like, oh yeah. She told me the other day, she's like, I'm rich. I'm rich. We had, I'm going to say, I don't know if the name goes with, again, any screen name out there. So I'm just going to say TT sent 2. Thank you here. So disgusting. Lips in a red and white dress, hairy armpits, and a fake ring on her finger. Has left green, black, gray smudge marks around her finger. I haven't even seen that yet. I haven't looked at it. On a side note, thanks for all you do. I haven't even looked at her videos lately. I've picked up a couple as far as the transcripts to them, but I mean, they're just, it's an absurdity when we go in again, when people are telling other folks that protective orders don't work across state lines. I really, it doesn't just make me think, oh God, let's make fun of that because it's stupid. It makes me think, man, that's dangerous. That is absolutely dangerous. The level of just mis or disinformation from these people blows my mind. You know what I mean? So they just, I don't even know what to think. Thank you there. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, Ante, thank you. Dropped 5 gifted memberships, by the way. 5 gifted memberships. I love it. Thank you there. Appreciate that too. I love gifted memberships. I think they're great. I thought I saw another one come in at the beginning as well, but I don't see it on here. Let me just check real quick, okay? Because I could have sworn that I saw another one come in too, and it's not. Man. Did somebody else give 5 gifted memberships at the very beginning? Because it's not showing on the thing. It doesn't show gifted memberships the exact same way. So if you did and it's not showing up here, let me know. I want to shout you out for it. Okay. I apologize. Like I said, I don't have any recall on it there. If it's there though. Hey, we regained about 100 people since we came back. That's funny. Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Hey, Tug, the bankruptcy documents. It's It's a mess. It's absolutely a mess for sure. I have to say, I agree. Yeah, I do. I have to agree. It is. It's one we will talk about tomorrow. There's a lot of it, but we'll start it early, and we will finish it tomorrow. Any interruption or anything, we will still finish it tomorrow. Even if we start it, we will finish it. I tell you, the last one. I don't know. Like, it's funny. It's funny with disruption stuff, unless the power goes out or something, but I plan on it otherwise. That is my plan for tomorrow, though. We will start about 3. We'll give myself, I'm giving myself plenty of time to hit that. Unless something crazy pops off tonight. I mean, it could too. You just never know. Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, Fallen Hero, man. I very much appreciate you. More than I can say. Thank you, my friend. Elaine, thanks for the vibe. Oh, 55. All right. Stuck inside. That sucks. Winter storms. I get it, though. I get it. I hope you've had a great day, regardless of that. I hope your power has stayed up. I hope you've had fun today. I hope I hope everything but the power outages on this channel, by the way, have been entertaining too. And of course, you deserve this.
Happy birthday! From
all of
us to you. Happy birthday! May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
We love to have you here. Happy birthday! Here's to another year.
Heck yeah. But I hope it's been great. And you know what? Even if you couldn't have people come over and stuff because, well, weather, even then, we came over to hang out with you. So I hope we were fun. But I appreciate you. Emma, thanks for the vibe there. I can't tell you how much I love this song. I like it. I think it's fun. Yeah. Any song, by the way, when it comes up, play it with your headphones on, for sure. It needs to be on Spotify with all the others. Yeah, I just never have set them up yet. I've been lazy. I agree, though. Like I said, I am looking at doing 2 things. The weather has slowed me down a little bit on this, but I really am thinking about with locals / Patreon. I'm thinking about putting all that stuff back up, getting those things kicked back up and in gear, because they are important. Just with health, I couldn't maintain more than one thing. So I'm looking at doing that. We can do like a movie watch party. We could do that once a week or something. It'd be fun. Plus that, it's another way to be able to back the channel over time, whatever. Rogue Pirate, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for that membership. And welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you there. Appreciate that. Hazel Monte Engel, thank you for the 12 months. 12 months, baby. Been here since depth. Love your channel. Indeed. Have you seen this, by the way? Have you seen the variety thing? The mess that they're trying to push right now? Like, it kills me. She's so awful. She's so awful. She's pretending too. What really gets me with this, again, variety, by the way, one of the things you got to remember, like all these media ranks, they all are the same thing. So many of them are operated like when the Rolling Stone or Variety or half a dozen other places comment, they're the same company. They're all under the same leadership, but they're out here pushing on Sundance a documentary called Silenced, and she's pretending that she was silenced. And it's like, no, you had free reign to destroy somebody's life for years. And then you get called on it. And when you get freaking called on it, suddenly that's, a woman who uses their voice. I tell you, the buzzwords, anybody can use identity to try to shut folks down. And they're trying it again. It's like I said, years ago. I told you on a long enough timeline, they will not only revisit, but they will relitigate this case. They will pretend that everything that happened didn't happen. And as they do it, they will leave out all of the instrumental evidence that proved that this person was a liar. And even though people have the case at their fingertips because it was broadcast live, it's way too much work for people to do their own research. So in a long enough timeline, they will smear the man's name again. You watch, especially after he's passed, in a few decades with that, they will go in and they will rewrite this chapter because it does not fit with what they produced, what they published from really the divorce to 2022. I mean, they kept publishing after that, but everything they published in there, it's wild. They're relitigating that thing again. God, it blows my mind. But yeah, appreciate you there too. I mean, it infuriates me. Andre, thank you for the 2 there. It's crazy. The Florida comps don't take up here. Oh, here comes the little one. Hey, what's up, kiddo? I think this is charged now. I just unplugged it. Yeah, look, 100%. You want it? Yeah. You want me to take that?
Yeah.
I'm using the charger right now. Actually, mine's charged up enough for a minute. I'll put the switch on there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can use the charger over there.
Yeah. No, I can't use it right this minute though, but I can use it. I don't think it'll die out before then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you and sis, your best kids ever. I love y'all. All right. Thank you, baby. Close the door for me. It's funny. She's like, you're the best dad ever. I'm careful. I'm not like, you're the best kid ever. Because, I have 2 kids. And I always note both. Because, you got to be careful the way you say it. But yeah, it's crazy. So let me fire that back up. Andre, that they're not taking a protective order seriously. What's really crazy to me, again, I think that people should revisit the idea how these people, they look at protective orders. I think when they run for office that it should be put in their face. I think, honestly, Levy County, I mean, my God, not only do they have a terrible track record when it comes to helping out victims, again, for prosecution's sake, not only are they half the baseline. When I talk about, you think about how low that is anyway, the baseline, 7%. So out of every crime that comes up, they prosecute about 7% on a national average. That's low as is, right? Out of I'm talking about specific types of crimes when I say all of those. So I'm not talking every single crime out here. I'm talking about certain types of, I don't want to get graphic about it, but you know what I'm talking about there. They do about 7%. That's a national average. Low. Okay. Levy County, they do 3%, 3.5. They're half that crappy baseline. And you see why. And they run on it and they continue. And when this has been called out before, they, God, I don't know why I use this stuff. I used half of it last time. I used it. This is that nose spray. If you've never used it, I've complained about it before. It's that Sinex Severe. It's Sinex with Vicks. So the Vicks stuff, it feels like you have mainline, like you have injected Vicks Vapor Rub into your sinuses. It's like, oh my God, but it works. It really does unclog them, and they've been bad for the last few days. So I had to drag that back out. That stuff is like it's like some kind of brain nightmare fuel, but it works. There are very few things that work. So, but yeah, the protective order thing, I think they should have to display their thoughts on it. Anybody that's moving into Florida too, I think they should understand how these regions of Florida, they perceive a protective order. And not only the protective order, but they perceive what higher courts have said about them and said about going and actually effectively pursuing any violation, not pretending to, but actually doing it. It has to be all the way across the board, because you have a failure at the law enforcement level. You have a failure at the prosecution level. I mean, it's just insane. These people, they sent a very powerful message when they allowed John Cook to walk after a month plus. They just let him walk out of jail. They decided not to prosecute, even though you have a woman there that is a victim. She's telling them point blank, hey, this guy, he pulled a pew-pew on me. Dude lied to the police over and over. They very easily could have gotten a conviction on him. They didn't want to. Why? Because Jeremy Hales. It's nuts. I mean, that is I hate this for any of you that live in Otter Creek or Levy County. I hate it for you, because my message to anybody would be never to be there. And I don't think it's fair to you residents. You have a lot of people that could truly help out a small a community that needs some kind of business injected into it. But some people like the status quo. They don't give a shit about you. It's crazy. Linda, thanks for the 5 there. Hey, what's up, Taz? How you doing? It's been a while. Loving hugs. Hey, loving hugs to you too. I hope you're doing great. I hope 2026 is treating you fabulously. William, thanks for the 10 there. Hopefully those in anti-what the hell's chats realize Lips was only a lawyer for 5 years. Licensed professional education is bare minimum. Years of practice is the true indicator of knowledge and skill. There are a lot of terrible lawyers, yes, very much so. And, what's weird is again, when people are flexing their education, come on, man. Really? I think that is so, it's so stupid, because everyone at the end of it, they're not determined by books. I say that as someone that is that has pursued my fair share of book learning too. I spent quite a bit of time in college, so I thought, in fact, that was going to be my until I started dealing with the entitlement of students. Like in the past, I felt like, maybe not in large college, like, Vanderbilt or something. I don't know how that sets up, but in smaller colleges, it was always a learning base. You had people that would come in. I mean, some people are not there to learn, of course, but there are more people in smaller colleges, where you're paying your way. And I liked that. And then I dealt with just some crazy entitlement from some people. I was like, no, maybe I don't want to go this way. So what's up, Auntie? Thanks for the 10 there. Civil protective orders instructions are in the Florida Sheriff Association book. Part B? 4.3. All Florida sheriffs are required to follow these rules. It's not that hard. Sorry, don't feel it. No, you're right. You're totally right there. This is not a complex freaking argument here. Again, full faith and credit is not a difficult concept to grasp, unless you're one of these idiots, apparently. What's up, by the way? Tez again. Yeah, 17 months. Thank you there, by the way. Yep. Been here since oh yeah, indeed. I know it. I recognize you. I recognize the @ even though the @ changes names, and I recognize you. So I do, and I appreciate you for sure. Thank you. Wheezy, thanks for the 10 there. I mentioned this before. I hope your move goes very good, by the way. Again, Andre, thank you. Candy Money. Bradley, the sloth, kicked up the no cleaning funds. I thought that was funny too. James, thank you for the also no cleaning day. Wheezy dropped that gifto, which thank you again. Appreciate that in there. Ante dropped a super sticker in there. Thank you for the 5. And that is super sticker. The little one, like I said, that is one of the highlights. They always, she always comes in and is asking me about those. So love that. I love that she gets a kick out of them so much. Paula, thanks for the 5. Bug, just for making you smile too. Yeah, she was funny. Thank you again for that. Wheezy, thank you again there. Yeah, for the cleaning. She's like, I got to get a maid. I love it. Shine, also thank you. I didn't mention that to her. I thought that was funny. Silver Fox, thanks for the 5. But we still have a second wave of severe weather to roll through. Gosh, I hope that it's like this one. You know, with this one, it didn't hit where they said. It shifted. A lot of times in Tennessee, the weather shifts. When they say it's going to roll straight through, they don't take into account this little thing we call mountains. The mountains divert the storms oftentimes. That's why, like our area, most people don't take any of the meteorologists seriously as far as that stuff or winter storms, because we have that every year. But one of our problems is one year, just a few years back, we had one that hit pretty hard. So they got one right. And once they get one right, everybody's like, well, maybe. So I hate that, though. I hope everybody, though, you stay safe and secure. Appreciate you. Puzzler. Thanks for the for Jay's mom's birthday. Is it really Jay's mom's birthday for real? Let's give her a song if it is. If it's not, we'll give her a song anyway.
Happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
Heck yeah. Happy birthday there. Yeah, I see a lot of you talking about mountains and specific areas. Yeah, exactly. The mountains, they work as, like somebody said, the mountains tend to collect the storm. Yeah, indeed. I've lived in areas where the mountains are, and they get hammered. It was crazy because I lived in this place called Dayton, Tennessee. And in Dayton, if you lived out in the mountainous area there, you would get hit hard by storms. But on the other side of the mountain, you have the plateau region. In the plateau region, it would get hit somewhat. But I mean, you could see the mountain would stop it. It would collect it and disperse it. It was wild. Or it would ring it around it and it would save certain areas. It's just wild to watch. Hey, Michelle, thank you for the month there. Hey, Tug. Hey, yourself. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're having a great one. Appreciate you there. Thank you. Kim, thanks for the 18 minutes. Shara's cease and desist letter from Felicio was about YouTube. Signed, yeah. So it was about YouTube and Facebook for Meta, Well, she said signed by Meta Legal. Meta doesn't own. I think she's trying to refer it to Facebook, which it makes it even funnier because, like you said, all her statements are about YouTube. So you're right in there. I think she's trying to make the argument that it's for her Facebook posts and for her Facebook. I guess not just posts, but videos or anything else. I'm trying to think what threw me off. I was trying to think if she puts up anything else there. She puts up a few videos, but I think she put up 1 or 2 clips of 2 else, maybe, but I don't know. I'd have to go check. I can't remember anymore. She doesn't usually put up anything besides her opinions on there, but it is funny because she didn't include anything with that, but she copied with YouTube in meta, like this means anything. It means absolutely nothing. You know, you can include them all you want. It's not a lawsuit. It means nothing. Just another email. But that's what they do, though. They tell people all the time that they're not flagging channels. They don't go after them. They don't try to ruin them. And yet, you've seen they've done so many end arounds on so many channels. It's absurd. What's up, Tiffaroo? Thanks for the 2 there. No cleaning money for the bug. I'm going to have to note that to her again. Thank you, too. I appreciate that. I'm like, ooh, you got some more no cleaning money. Dare also. Thanks for the 5. I thought this was funny, though. You were like, Nick doesn't really understand that LP has her 2 settings, loud and louder. I thought that was funny. DeFloof. Thanks for the 5. DeFloof says, happy, I can't say Saturday, Catterday. There we go. Catterday. I didn't know it was going to come out. Catterday to all from her personality, all then, quite slowly shrinking, Candy to Bug, Chai to Tug. Thank you. And Crafts to Lug. Well, thank you. And I'm really glad that you are mending that. Again, you've been in my prayers. You've been on my mind for that. So thank you. Oh, man, Wanda, thank you for the 5 there. My mom is in the hospital, not looking good. I'm in a daze because I don't know what I'll do without her. Do you have other people that are around in real life? Do you have folks that are around for you to be like an emotional support? It's important if you have them, and it's okay to talk to people about that. It's okay to need it. It very much is, and if you're in one of those, again, that is what friends are for. That is what people, I mean, again, including all the people out here that but that's what they're there for. And it's okay to feel like that, and it's okay to talk to people about it. And if you find yourself in something where you cannot find a way, like deal with it on your own or deal with it with friends, talk to a professional too. And I very much mean that, it's not trying to pass people off to a professional. It's trying to make sure that you have the resources there. Because again, these are the moments when friends or family or anybody around us matter. But yeah, I mean, those moments later on, as that comes up, if something happens, then we talk about things like ways to deal with that afterwards. But in preparing for that, again, sometimes you definitely need support. Like that is the most important thing, I think, in moments like that, needing them. And hey, bravo for you saying that, with this, I'm not sure. Been there, man. I remember when my stepfather died, I was just like, God, lost in this. And it took a while. But you have our love there for sure. I'll see. Thanks for the 18 months there. Tattletales at Tattletales Shepherd is in the chat. He is his son Reed. Good to hear from him. Also, love to you and the girls. Hey, well, it's good to see you there. I didn't know. I don't see. Sometimes I don't remember. Like I don't know who certain people are. I'm glad to see you. It's glad to have you here. And, a lot of people are glad to see you too. So thank you. I'm glad you're here. And thank you also, Aussie, for throwing the love to me and the girls. I appreciate that. Rogue Pirate, thanks for the 10. Stuck here in a cabin on a river in ice and snow. No, can't go to Starbucks. So here you go. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that does suck, like being near water and ice. I used to live, when I lived in Dayton, Tennessee, this was the craziest place. All right. I lived where the driveway, it really looked like, you ever see those old videos when they launched like the old school rockets. You know, it would be like a slope. It would go straight, you know, like it'd go at this insane angle. You know, it wouldn't be straight up, but it would be such a steep angle. Well, that's how my driveway was. And when it would snow or ice there, like, you cannot get out of this thing. You know, I'd park at the bottom of it, but walking down it just to get to the car was a nightmare. It's like, oh no, I'm going to roll down it and, you know, end up hurt or in a ditch or something. Getting out of there, and that didn't count the drive and the back roads or anything. Around here too, even though this is better, none of the side roads are ever taken care of. Again, a couple of years ago, when the little one, you know, she was jumping on the bed and fell and busted her mouth. She needed stitches on her lip on the inside. So I ended up getting them together. I put them in the car, you know, for drive. And once we got out on the road, it was kind of funny in retrospect. In the time, it was horrible, but in retrospect, it's funny because the little one, she went from crying about, oh, my mouth hurts too. Let's go home. Let's go back home. I'll be okay. Because the drive was that horrifying. So you be careful. That sounds, it sounds like the perfect time to sit, to rest, and be like, oh, well, maybe tomorrow. Thank you. Wanda thinks to do no cleaning day. I'm going to tell her that there's another no cleaning. Thank you. Appreciate that. What's up, Lynn? Thanks for the 2 there. Battery backup, funding seed money. Thank you. You know, I do have a small battery backup. The thing is that I need something that connects like an entire generator system, which I have thought about doing, but again, it's just a mess. See this one too. The Generac fund. Indeed. I've looked up a few of those. Those things some of those are monsters too. You know, I've thought about, like I said, I've thought about getting a nice one. They just, man, the cost. You know, everything I think that lately. I'm like, man, the cost. Let's see. One old Sacky guy, thanks for the 10. Just wondering if you looked at the video of the giant. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Those, what are they? The Huntsman spiders? Yes. I think you would really enjoy it. I did look at it. I think they're amazing, by the way. I like the giant one. I've owned a Goliath bird eater before. It, unfortunately, when we had our crazy cold snaps, we were away for like a week plus. There was a family emergency, and then I think doctor's appointments on top of it, and we were away with like a week plus, like I said. And when I got back, the power had kicked out, and the battery backups, one of them had given out, so it ended up unfortunately taking out a few of the spiders that took out the Goliath. I hated that. I was so mad. You know, I was mad because I was like, I even had it planned. I had it on a freaking battery, you know, one of those that, you know, that plugs up and it charges, like the Snake, for example. That's what I've got it set on. I've got a small battery backup there that'll keep it going for a bit. But yeah, I like those. I think they're cool. Thank you too. Weezy, thanks for the 5. Trying to pack while you're in a wheelchair and a broken ear. Oh God, I bet that's awful. You know, love to you, my friend. Love to you. I hope you're managing. I hope you're managing despite that. That sounds rough. It does. See, Kathy, thanks for the 5 months. Today is my 45th wedding. That's awesome. I don't have an anniversary song, but I do. I'll throw in a happy birthday. That's right. It says anniversary. From both of us to you. Happy anniversary. May all your dreams come true. Happy anniversary. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary. Here's to another year. Many more years. Man, that's awesome, though. You know, obviously, I love hearing about people, how, again, 45 years, that's amazing. You know, props to you and yours. One old saggy guy, thanks for the 10 there for the maid salary. Oh, Lord. The little one would be, I don't even know what she would, you know, if you were like, hey, I got a maid. I wonder what she would think. I think that would be funny. You know, what's funny is if there was a maid, for example, you know, if we really did have one, you know what she would be doing? She'd be running around cleaning. You know, she would. She'd be running around trying to help them. She'd be like, oh, let me help you. Let me help you. I'd be like, stop. Which is really funny. That's the way kids are, though. Yuma, thanks for the 5. Thank you for being a great distraction for a few hours from all the other disturbing, crazy things going on in the world. I think we need it. Well, indeed. You know, one of the things that there are a lot of, you know, there are a lot of giant, like, political or social events that you and I have no control over. It is, they're horrible to see. Sometimes they could have devastating consequences, but ultimately we don't have any control over them. So for myself, I look at something that, you know, is manageable and controllable, and I try to unwind. And again, we watch this with serious things, but at the same time, we can laugh at these stupid people. You know, I think that's important. And thank you. Appreciate you being here. And Bonnie dropped a 10 there. Thank you, Bonnie. There's not a statement attached to it, but that in and of itself is quite a statement. Thank you, Bonnie. I very much appreciate you there, too. 1 second here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone out there. I want to make sure. Just give me a second. Tonight, as the redirect again, as always, on Saturday, I always redirect Flashcast. Give me 1 second. I can clear my throat. Now, it comes with this caveat, of course. If you get offended by things, don't go over there and get offended. Remember, people don't give offense, we take it. So don't take offense. Don't go over there. But if you want to go goof off, laugh at people stupid, if you're highly opinionated on something, want to argue with people, go have fun there. They talk about politics, though, social events and stuff. Things I'm not saying that I don't care about all of them, but some, like I said, there's certain things I think for myself most of the time, like when we're talking about the things on this channel, those things divide us, you know, they divide too many people. And I like to focus on the 99.9% that unite us, but you can still go have fun, goof off. I love Flash and the guys over there too. They're good guys. So if you want to go over there, I'm going to redirect there. But tomorrow I will be on early. Remember, 3 o'clock. So it'll be early. We'll go over the documentation, talk about how some of that reads like, well, doesn't read like the guy that we've seen before, which will make our comparisons. We'll compare and contrast, and I'll see you later.